Assalamu alaikum, me Ahmed Mushtaq lecture. This lecture drafted on diabetes and Crispr technology in a style that you could use for YouTube or a public seminar. I made it simple, engaging and scientifically sound so that even non-scientists can understand while still giving depth for intellectual audience. My dear, can CRISPR cure diabetes? The future of medicine is here. The future of medicine is here. My dear, we will talk about first introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a disease that touches millions of families. Across a globe. Diabetes from children who can eat sweets without checking their blood sugar, to adults who live daily with insulin injections. Diabetes has silently become one of the biggest health burdens of our century. But what if I told you that science has opened a door? Science has opened a door not just to manage diabetes, but potentially to cure it. That door is called CRISPR technology. First, we understand diabetes. That's very important to understand. Type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune disease where the body immune system destroys insulin producing beta cells in the pancreas. The patient becomes dependent on insulin injections for life. Now we talk about type 2 diabetes. More common, usually caused by lifestyle, obesity and genetic predisposition. Here the body either resists insulin or cannot make enough. That's very important point. Both types have one thing in common: the body struggles to control blood sugar, leading to long-term damage to the heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. These are the side effects of type 2 diabetes. Part 2, enter CRISPR, the genetic synthesizers, that means the kanchi. CRISPR clustered, that's the full form. CRISPR clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats is a revolutionary technology discovered less than 15 years ago. Think of it as a molecular synthesizer guided by GPS. Remember that synthesizer, a kanchi that is guided by GPS. It can precisely cut, edit or replace genes inside living cells. That is nowadays used in both crop improvement and health science. Scientists now ask, can we use CRISPR to reprogram the body to fight diabetes? That's an important concern. Part 3, how CRISPR could cure diabetes. That's number 1, repairing beta cells in type 1 diabetes. Like using CRISPR. How they use CRISPR? Scientists are editing stem cells. To become new, healthy, insulin-producing beta cells. These cells can then be transplanted into patients, remember carefully, into patients to restore natural insulin production. Some trials are already underway, showing promising that trials are showing promising results. Note it, promising results. Number 2, making beta cells invisible to immune system in type 1 diabetes. The immune system attacks beta cells. CRISPR can reprogram these new beta cells so the immune system to longer recognize them as enemies. This could mean a permanent cure without lifelong immunosuppressant drugs. Number 3, fixing genetic errors in type 2 diabetes. How CRISPR works for this? CRISPR can identify and correct faulty genes linked to insulin resistance. For example, genes that cause the body to store fat excessively or fail to respond to insulin properly. Correcting these genes could reverse diabetes at the root cause. Number 4, editing the gut microbiome. That's a very important. New research shows gut bacteria play a role in blood sugar. That is a very, very important research. Regulation. CRISPR could be used to engineer friendly bacteria that help control glucose naturally. That's a very important research. Real world progress. In 2022, scientists successfully used CRISPR to correct diabetes causing mutations in mice. Now, if we talk about humans, clinical trials are now exploring CRISPR edited stem cells for insulin production. Companies like CRISPR, Therapeutics, Vertex, and Editas are racing towards therapies that could make daily insulin injections a thing of the past. Past is past. Now we in future, that is CRISPR technology. Now we talk about the challenges ahead. Safety. Editing genes must be extremely precise to avoid side effects. Number 1, cost. At first, these therapies may be expensive, but like all technologies, prices will fall over time. Ethics. Now we talk about the rules and discipline. We must ensure CRISPR is used responsibly for curing disease, not for designer humans. That is an important concern and debate around the world. Now we talk about the conclusion. We stand at the edge of a new era. For centuries, diabetes has been seen as a lifelong condition, but with CRISPR, the future might look very, very different. A future where a child diagnosed with type 1 diabetes can receive a one-time treatment and live insulin-free for life. This is not just a science. Fiction. It is happening right now in laboratories and clinical trials around the world. These clinical trials are now open. So let us dream, but let us also prepare, because the day may soon come when diabetes, once considered incurable, will be just a chapter in the history of medicine. Take care. Khuda Hafiz. Me, Dr. Ahmed Mushtaq, creator of Halima Foundation, Kashmir. I hope so that you like, subscribe, and share this lecture for Sadaqai Jariyah.